And we're here. We are here, Drum Iowa friends. And I am here with my dear friend and beloved co-host, Jaelon Jones. Ashley K is on assignment with the family. Big shout out to Ashley K. We will see you next month. Yeah. In the meantime, let's jump right into it. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day, y'all. Be safe. Have fun.
How you feeling this Memorial Day?
You know, I just got blessed with the nourishment for the soul. So I'm feeling
Nourishment for the soul.
nourishment.
That's
for
what
the
we're
soul.
doing, huh? Okay.
Yes.
I can dig it.
So I cannot complain. I'm very blessed. It's been a very productive. So a holiday is appropriate around this time.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
How about you?
Man, Memorial Day is one of those holidays for me where, I don't do a lot of holidays. I'm not a big holiday person, and Memorial Day has always been one where I've been allowed to reflect and just think about people who are no longer with us, and just kind of get in tune with self and make sure that I'm doing what I need to do.
Real.
So yeah, Memorial Day is one of my favorite holidays. Eat good, be with family. Anytime you're eating good and you're with the people, it's a good thing.
It's
right?
a win-win.
For sure.
That's a win-win.
So hey, thank you, dear Iowa, Drum Iowa friends. First and foremost, before we jump too deep into this thing, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. This is your drumming community. And again, Drum Iowa is all about fostering drum communities across the state. And we'll put it together, whether that looks like a drum circle or a drumming event for the kids, something to put together for the elderly population. We got you covered. We're all about fostering drum communities across the state of Iowa. So, quick shout outs to all of our friends across the state, down in Prairie Woods, over in Marshalltown, up in Decorah, down in Iowa City, all of Lane County, and of course, Waterloo. I dare say that. Big shout out to our friends down in the D in Des Moines, putting it down. They had a fire jam a couple Fridays ago.
For real? You was there?
No, I was not there, but I saw the footage.
Footage.
Smacking. They got some fire dancers down there. Yeah, and John Reddick and his crew, when they get to drumming, and then the fire dancers get to going.
That sounds crazy.
It was the same night as the Cat Williams concert.
Really?
And they had people out and about. People had an opportunity to either go see Cat or go see Saba Circle.
And they went
Saba Circle.
The Saba Circle.
Saba Circle. They had people at the Saba Circle paying attention to the pyro works.
That sounds hard.
Yeah. So shout out to the Des Moines community. They put it down. We love them. Tomorrow, we will be here in Waterloo for the Drumming on the Cedar event. If you are or will be or just kind of up for a road trip, feel free to drive up to Black Hawk County. We're going to be at the amphitheater doing our thing from 6 to 8 p.m. The weather's supposed to be good. Jay's bringing some friends.
Bring your friends.
I heard you bringing some friends.
I am bringing friends. I try to include my friends in everything I do.
That's what's up.
Got
to include our friends. Even if they're busy and even if they can't make it, we got to give them an opportunity to get out there and do it right.
Tribe.
Lots going on in the Black Hawk County area and across the state. We have the Memorial Day kickoff. Well, it kicked off today in Lincoln Park with the people in the park. And again, if you're not familiar with people in the park, it goes on every Friday in Lincoln Park, in Waterloo throughout the summertime. They got food vendors. What else they got going on over there?
They got the live music,
live entertainment from local bands.
Yeah.
These guys, these are people who are from our community who took the time to practice and develop the craft, and they're performing for their community.
Yeah.
So let's get out and support them.
Do it.
Let's get out and support them.
Do it.
And that's every Friday throughout the summer. Tonight was the first Friday, and you saw it. They were out there in droves.
They was getting down.
They were doing their thing big time. So big shout out to those organizers. Big shout out to all of those people who are involved in that event. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big day.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Drumming on the cedar is always a deal, and I mentioned this in the other episode, the other video. I love the way that this event is really turning into an intergenerational event.
Mm,
We get people from all ages out.
that's important.
Yeah,
That's really important.
that's big. I mean,
Yeah.
think about how many activities can you think of where you draw out every single stage of development.
It's
in
not
a
a
human
lot.
being, from
It's
little
really
kids
not.
all the way up to seniors.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
everybody have a good time and not feel like they're out of place.
Right.
That's a big deal. That's
It
a big deal.
is.
That's not anything to sneeze at. And when I first saw that at the amphitheater last year, it just made me know we were home.
Mm,
It made me know that we were on to something here in terms of getting people together in a way that's, non-traditional. I'm all
wholesome.
about the non-traditional.
Yeah.
All right, drum friends, pleased to have you. Happy Memorial Day. Wherever you are, please be safe. Have a ball. Spend some time and reflect on some of those folks that are no longer with us. I'm sure that we have a lot of them in our lives that, But anyway, not to be what's the term?
Don't say buzzkill.
Yeah, buzzkill. That's your generation. Your generation's term, buzzkill. So yeah, I'm not going to be a buzzkill. But yeah, my Memorial Day. Let's do it. Let's do it. Jumping into Jaelon Jones, Carpe Diem,
Yeah.
big stuff.
Seize the day.
Happy campers.
Very happy.
Yeah. You got an
Yeah.
event coming up with the Happy Camper deal, yeah?
I do. We have our first Happy Campers artist retreat next weekend out at Hickory Hills. So teamed up with these business partners. They own the Brass Tap. We're going to be taking the artists that we're going to put on stage for Carpe Diem and taking them on retreats to make sure that their internal is, matching the external. So they're more kind of cohesive with their performance on stage. Okay. So we're going to go get in tune with the nature. Catherine Potter's going to come out and play the bowls for us.
All right.
Get the sound healing going on.
Shout out to Cat Potter.
Shout out Cat.
Oh, and
yeah. We're just going to be some guys and just talk about stuff. We're going to take some recording.
Is it a men's event?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
I can dig it, man.
Yeah.
You see, when I was a young guy, here we go with these old man stories. When I was a young guy, we didn't go out in nature in groups. We went to clubs, we hung out on street corners and things like that. We were not going into nature, having sabbaticals. Because when I hear you talk, it sounds a lot like a sabbatical, a men's sabbatical out in the woods.
I wish I knew what that word meant, but
we'll talk about it. But in short, it's what you and your group is doing, man. Getting out there, getting in tune with yourselves, getting making sure that the work is pure in the sense of like you said, the outer matching the inner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So kudos to you, man, and your generation. I take my hat off to you guys a lot. I'm not really a fan of your music, not yours in particular, but your generation's music.
Oh, me either.
I'm a big fan of the way that your generation is trying to take care of itself mentally. You know what I mean? Because that wasn't something that we had in the 90s when I was coming up. All right. Moving right along. The GOAT. All right.
Goodness gracious.
The GOAT for this week is going to be Councilwoman Nia Wilder.
Hey.
Why do you think Nia Wilder is going to be the GOAT for this week?
Because she's the GOAT every week.
You did? But why in particular for this week? Why do you think?
Because she finna be on one of our episodes.
Absolutely. The next episode, not only will we have Ashley K joining us, but we will also have our honorable and distinguished guest, Councilwoman Nia Wilder, will be joining us, talking about all of the cool things that she's got going on down in City Hall, the way that she's advocating for the people. So big shout out to our sister, Nia Wilder, and for all of those folks down there in City Hall that are doing what they need to do in order to make this community better. So,
and guess what?
What's that?
Me and her and I are planning an Inspiration Fest right over yonder on July 21st from 2 to 6 p.m. for people that do like homemade goods, holistic products, holistic healing, meditations. We're going to have the spoken word, poetry. I really can't grasp how big it's going to be. We're going to bring out artists. We're going to bring out people who are going to be playing instruments in the park and stuff like that. Just people trying to connect on some wholesome-ish and just catch a vibe, just be inspired.
For sure.
Yeah. So we're planning that.
Hey, and I'm pretty sure the councilwoman's going to be here talking about all of that goodness.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
so it's going to be an honor and a treat to have her here. Question for you.
Yeah.
Related to stress, anxiety, and depression. We all have them, bouts with it on some form or another, in some form or another. For me, I like, breathing is a big thing for me. I have to remember to breathe. When I remember to breathe, I typically do better than when I don't remember to breathe.
Right. Breathing's pretty important.
Right. And something that I've done more of over the years is, as we all know, drumming. That drumming in music for me is a big stress reliever and a big anxiety reducer.
Yeah.
When you think about yourself and how you deal with the blues, as my grandmother would call it, or anxiety and depression, what are some of your go-to skills that are in your tool belt?
I like to make sure I start my days really slowly. I have really slow starts to my mornings. So I'm talking like a couple, like an hour or two before I even get ready to get in motion to go somewhere. I make sure I get up, I get into this 5-minute yoga routine. I meditate right after that. If I can, I'll do it outside to get in touch with the nature immediately, because the way I found my spiritual sense of being was just by sitting in nature.
Okay.
It wasn't through anything traditional. Well, I guess you could call it traditional, but I didn't think it would just hit me like that.
Right.
So when I'm in nature, I'm full throttle. So that's instant recharge. So I make sure I get into nature when I can, eat fruit. I start the day with some fruit. It just charges me up. I'm just primed, ready to go. And then with stress and things that build on throughout the week, definitely breathing practices are important. I will purposely drive the speed limit sometimes because when I feel like I'm rushing around too much, because
Force you to slow down a bit.
Forcing myself to slow down.
That's dope.
Letting everyone else that's in a hurry speed on by me, and then it just gives me so much more peace because I'm like, oh, I'm in control. Right.
I don't need to keep up with you guys.
I don't need to keep up. I don't need to. Yeah. So
I like that.
Those things, just staying grounded and just keeping a circle that knows what's up. That people that really care about you, that check in when they feel like they need to check in, and just making sure that they're bringing something that fills your cup, that's not draining your cup.
For sure.
So those relationships and that little bit of a routine pretty much keeps me on my full.
Yo, I mean, just hearing you talk about your tool belt, sounds like that bad boy is full. It's filled up.
It's getting there.
That's a good thing, because the more tools you have to deal with this crazy world, the better, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure. All right, guys. Tomorrow we're going to be at the amphitheater doing our thing. Next month, be sure to tune in with our distinguished guest, Nia Wilder, along with Ashley Kay will be joining us next month. Be safe, guys. Be safe out there, and whatever it is you're doing. If you're traveling, if you're on the highway, whatever it is you're doing out there, be safe in it. And thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you're living in a community here in Iowa and you think it would benefit from drum culture, feel free to reach out. Let us know. We will definitely reach out to you and help you get that drumming community going. invite you down to some of our drumming communities down here in Waterloo and Des Moines and other places so that we can figure this thing out, because that's what it's about. Let's give our community something greater than what it's currently being offered, and wellness, spirituality, drumming, all of these things are good for our communities, and it's very sustainable. That's the thing about drum culture. You know how sustainable drum culture is? Extremely sustainable.
How so?
Because think about it. The community has a set of drums.
Mm-hmm.
And when people come out, they make donations. And you use those donations to buy more drums and buy more percussion toys and things like that.
Yeah.
And all these things go right back into the drumming community. And this makes the drumming community very sustainable. I want to give a shout out to the parks and recreation districts as well, because we get Drum Iowa gets a lot of support from the parks and recreation districts across the state. Decorah, big shout out to Decorah up there. They show us a lot of love when we want to do drum events out there in the park. They're very supportive. They give us ideas. They let us know, hey, what are you going for? Might be a good idea for you to have it in this park this time. For example, we like Dunning Springs. It's a great park. We love to drum there, but there's no place for a fire pit. So I just asked, I said, hey, I'm not very familiar with Decorah Park and Recreations. Can you help us out with understanding a spot where we can have a fire along with the drum circle? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. You need to be at Will Baker. This is a great idea. So being able to coordinate with these, with the local stakeholders is big.
Yeah.
Another big shout out before we go to the 415 Collaborative.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Get them a big shout out for that event that they did last week.
That was sick.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
To be out there at the Walnut Street Church and then to take it over to the Grout Museum to understand more about the other properties here in Waterloo that need to be repurposed in a meaningful way. That was epic. Because I didn't know as a citizen, of Waterloo, I didn't know that we had that many buildings that needed to be repurposed in, historical spots. So anyhow, big shout out to Matt and all the folks over at the Waterloo Historical Preservation Center. I'm pretty sure I messed that up. I'm sorry if I did, but those folks put on a big show.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of big work.
Absolutely. Anything on your mind before we sign off?
Man, bro, just keep doing what y'all can to stay true to yourselves and keep being a light, because we need light in this dark world sometimes, So just keep pushing.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us for our first official episode of the Drum Iowa podcast. Tune in next time where we will have Councilwoman Nia Wilder along with Ashley Kay, our other distinguished co-host. And thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and reach out if you need some of this drum culture in your community. Deuces.
D.